Yeah, I like to spitball and think of things that they could add into a game, and you know, probably ticks off a lot of developers. But I've always figured video games are a work in progress, especially the way they treat them now, where you can get in like super early, like beta or early access or alpha. So if they're going to treat it that way, then I'll treat the game perpetually forever in that light, because they come up with download content, they come with patches. So I'll start thinking about the things you should throw into it to make me more happy. Because it's all about me, guys. It's all about my enjoyment. Come on. There you, oh, you sunfish. I hate you, sunfish. We only need, I think, one more sunfish, and we won't need any more for a while. Now, these are used in health potions. Nah, you know. I haven't really used health potions. I really see a point to them. The musket does the job. And even if you're level 1 musket, if you just keep the musket on you, you can cast it on the ground and then switch a different class. I believe that works. I haven't actually tried it, but I believe it probably will stay there while you switch over to another class. For all I know, it disappears immediately, but... So that might be a way you can heal yourself in between fights if you need to. Definitely give it a shot. Let me know. I'm gonna try that myself when I start playing my wizard. Somebody over there fighting. I like how it's not zoned off. So, you know, when you come over this bridge right over here, it kind of loads in a little bit, and then you gotta like zap across it. You can't even actually walk across that bridge. You zap across it. So I'm glad that that is not considered a zone line, and you can see over there and just kind of, you can see people waving at you, or you can see them fighting. All right, got another fish on the line. Give me a bellied bass. Come on, dude. Be gracious. Be kind. Rewind. It's like the Blockbuster saying, most of you guys have no idea. Can you swipe or swap left, right, hand distance? Yeah, you can actually. If you are more to do with your left hand, you can go into your inventory, boom, just like that, and pop it right over here on this side. And now if I go back over here, nothing comes out. But if I come over here, I got my fishing rod in my other hand. So, yeah, I'm not very good with my left hand, though. That's why I don't tend to use it, but it's a thing. Let's put this here. Where's my other fishing rod? Fishing line, I should say. And the same goes for all the other classes, not just for fishing. If you want to be a warrior and you are left-handed, you can put the sword in your left hand and the shield in your right. If you want to be a spellcaster, yeah, same thing goes, left hand. Very nice to give players the option, especially when you make it difficult to do things. You know, spellcasting takes a lot of training. And if you had to learn how to use your right hand, if you were left-handed, and do all of that, oh my god, dude. That would it'd probably make you very what's the term, ambidextrous? You know, you'd be able to use both hands. You would probably get a little bit better with that, just because of this game alone, which is not bad. It's not bad to teach me a skill set. I'm kind of waiting for that when it comes to VR games. The Wii had tried their hand at that. I don't know if you guys played any of those, where you could do like a tennis practice from like a real professional, and they would teach you how to hold the tennis racket, supposedly, and how to swing the tennis racket, supposedly. I say supposedly because they weren't very accurate. The Wii itself is fun. I like the game. I like the consoles. But, I mean, I like the consoles. I like the games. I mean, reverse that a little bit. But they aren't hugely accurate. And so you're not getting the training you would need with that. Now, is the VR insanely accurate? Not really. It kind of is. The more sensors you use, when it first came out, they gave you 2 sensors. And now I've heard that some people will go with 3 because you have one behind you, and it kind of makes up for any blockage. If you are sitting on a chair, you have a sensor on your left and you have a sensor on your right, then if there's something in the way, like the chair itself, the sensor on the left can see it with the left hand, but the sensor on the right gets blocked. And so it would kind of wig out and starts going across the screen. If you have a sensor behind you, it keeps track of it. And as long as there's two sensors and the remotes, it can figure out like the three-dimensional area that you're in. So yeah, more sensors you have, the better off you are. And now that they have it integrated in there where you can have more than one sensor or more than two sensors, it's getting better with the accuracy. I think it still needs a long way to go before it is teaching you small movements. Like if it's teaching you how to play baseball and you have to raise your elbow up, the level at which your elbow needs to be raised up can be within inches. And I don't know if it could be that accurate. Maybe, but I could see that being in the future. And that's going to be pretty sweet, where video games won't just be video games anymore. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the VR games that have come out. I say games because they're labeled games, but they're really not games. There's one from NASA, and it is a virtual flight into space. And you get to sit down in the rocket. All the buttons in front of you work, every single one of them, and there is a checklist of things to do, which buttons to flip on and off. You got to go through the whole thing. You have NASA in your ear telling you, yo, yeah, we got a problem on, booster rocket 1, and they actually have simulated the experience for certain flights. So what was it? One of the Mercury rockets you could go on to, and I believe it was one of the Apollo missions you can go through as well. Not Apollo 13 though, because I don't think they wanted to go that route. But yeah, you can go through one of the Apollo missions and fly up into space, do the exact same mission that they did in space, push the same buttons, see the same stuff. That is more of a history lesson as well as a simulator, so pretty sweet that they're going that route. There is another game company out there, not in VR, just on the regular computer, and they're making these RPGs, same thing as like Golden Sun. For those of you who know that franchise, you go out there and you have a character that you're taking control of, and you're trying to, do something, right? You're like the chosen one, and there's some big massive, was that a shooting star I just saw go by? I think it might have been. That would be amazing, see these shooting stars. But yeah, you have a story mission that you're doing, and from what I've heard, they're fairly interesting. But when you play the game, as you go to new towns, you get like magical powers, and the magical powers are casted through a new language, and the language they're teaching you changes depending on the version of the game that you have. But one of them was like Japanese, so they'd give you a Japanese symbol and they tell you what it means, and now to cast the firebolt spell, it's the word in Japanese for firebolt. So you're learning a language as you play. And then as the game progresses, you not only learn spells that you're using, but you actually get to talk to NPCs in town, and they start introducing words. So I think they wait a long enough time that you have time to absorb the new word without being overwhelmed. Like, oh, okay, I went to a new town, I learned 50 words this time. No, I think you go to a new town and you learn like 2, and you're there in that town for like 6 hours. So it's a decent amount of time to absorb it, as long as you're not just forgetting everything that you learned the next time you play. Who'd want a Tom Hanks simulator? Alien Loch Ness? Really? You got a Loch Ness monster? That would be amazing. It wasn't, Apollo 13 didn't actually have Tom Hanks in it. Well, the movie did, but the real one didn't. Yeah, I haven't completed any of those simulator ones. I'm not sure if you have to like go to the bathroom in them as well. The only reason I mention it is mainly because I'm obsessed with bathrooms. For those of you guys who haven't seen any of my videos, I always think they should be in video games. They're in real life. They're everywhere in real life, and it's the one thing in video games they never put in. But beyond that, it's a simulator, and it's incredibly accurate. So I'm guessing they probably do have that. No, I understood the movie to be a highly accurate documentary. You're right. I don't know about that, guys. Hollywood, I wouldn't have been surprised. Well, I like Tom Hanks movies. I really do. Tom Hanks tends to make a pretty decent flick when he goes at it. Yeah, I'm thinking about now the not the National Treasure ones, but the I'm not catching any of the green-bellied over here. Let's try back over there at the entrance. It's a good spot though for sunfish. Definitely catching some sunfish over there. Yeah, it wasn't National Treasure. What was those ones about the priest and the little thing he had to twist open? I need a VR game of the plot of the Money Pit, please. Oh my god, dude. That would be amazing. That is one of the early Tom Hanks movies you're talking about right there. And a great flick. You Got Mail was another one. It's more of a chick flick, but I like it a lot. I can watch that one again and again. Castaway. Castaway. I'm sure some people were just like, oh my god, so slow. It's all just about him on an island by himself. But I think he does those movies really well. It's The Terminal. He did that as well by himself.
Right now? Well, stop
The Da Vinci Code. There you go, man. I don't know why I couldn't think of that name. So yeah, he had the Da Vinci Code, which I thought was okay. Not fantastic, but just okay. And then he did like 2 more sequels to that, maybe more.
Hey, fish.
I tried not to watch too many sequels. They usually aren't as good as the original. So there's a lot of people over there at the newbie area. Let's try going down a little bit and seeing what we get down here. Just trying out new spots, guys. I mean, if we're gonna be fishing regular stuff, might as well see if a new area has something special to offer. And since we're here, can't pass up the goodies. How about you? There we go. So this seems like a good spot, right? There's a fisherman out there and everything. Let's see if we can get our lines tangled up with his. Metaphorically speaking, I mean, we're not really. You should see if you can fish in pits of lava, should you find some. I don't think I've seen any pits of lava in the game. I'm trying to think. Pits of lava. I've only made it to level 10, so, you know, like, if they're in there, they're not in the newbie areas. But a pit of lava, where would that be, even? I mean, there's an ice zone that I've seen, maybe in the desert, but usually you don't have lava in deserts. I don't know if they have, like, a volcanic region, like an island that you might be able to sail to. Oh, guys, I would love for them to have a fast, or maybe not a fast transport system, we should call it a slow transport system, to be able to take the boat to an island. Quite literally take the boat. Like, I want to be able to either row a small rowboat out there by doing the motion, you know, doing the rowboat motion to get up to a bigger boat, and then have that boat sail me across the seas and watch the sails unfurl and the wind kind of blow into them. And, you know, you could even have special events that go on where the wind stops for a little while randomly, just, you know, period. You're on a boat and there's no wind right now, so you're not going anywhere, and you're kind of stuck out there for a few more minutes longer than you normally would. Makes things very realistic. Gets me gets my enjoyment going. We'll phrase it that way. Come on. Big bucks, no whammies. Green-bellied bass is what I'm looking for, and I got a sunfish. It's a little bigger. I could see a game like this rewarding weird experimental experimentations like that. Yeah. I could definitely see. I could definitely see VR games rewarding people for doing things that they normally do, just in a different way. For those of you who have seen Sword Art Online, they've kind of talked about this, and I think they were a little bit ahead of their time with story-wise going about VR. Japanese have always been very big into VR and robots. You watch any other anime or television shows, they've been very passionate about that for a long time. So I think they delve into that a little deeper than most cultures do. But yeah, in that one, they had it where they don't have little things over the head of NPCs all the time. It's not like, oh, hey guys, here's an exclamation mark. You need to come over here and click on the mob and get a quest. It's just there, you know, we're letting you know. No, oh, did I lose it? It glitched out again, didn't it? Yeah, it did. What is that? Can I stuck combat it, maybe? No, that doesn't unstuck combat. It just happens. Huh. Alright, well, that's the second time that has happened. The only way I know to fix that is to log out and log back in. Fortunately, my login is way over there. And now my wire is a thing again. Oh, look at that. There's a giant pit out there. You couldn't see it before. But when the water was gone and it was loaded, yeah, there was a giant pit right out there. So there's different levels. I'm going to aim for that region because it looks like it's deep. So we have broken another lore. And yeah, fantastic. Look at that. Look at that. That was horrible. There we go. That is a nice cast. Stop trying to fish in rifts in space-time AC cheese. You know, I mean, I like to push a game to the limits, break it, and make my experience a little less enjoyable. Yeah, you know, again, it's still super early, guys. I mean, the game's only been out for 3-4 weeks now, and, you know, they're going to have some issues. Nothing game-breaking. I mean, I've had it where you get stuck in combat, and I didn't know there was that stuck in combat button in there. Now that I know that it's there, it's like being stuck in combat's not a big deal. Even when it was, all you did was log out and log back in. Like, it's really not that bad. And it's not like you have to be in a certain spot to log into the game. You could be anywhere. You can log out and log in anywhere. It logs you out instantly. I think there should be a timer on that because people are going to use that to their own advantage in places that they probably shouldn't, you know. But, yeah, there should be a timer on the logout, and I would prefer it, again, making it more difficult on people, but I would prefer that you only be able to log out in safe zones. We're going to hate me now. They're like, you jerk. That is... Somebody listened to you, and now we can't log out in the world. You punk. And raids in this world be fantastic. There is one video. There's one video I found on YouTube. There's probably more, but I found one last night when I had a little bit of time to spare. There was a video about a raid, and it was like 30-something people, and it was people of all different levels. It did not matter, because in this game, they were wise when they went down the route of making all monsters public, in the sense that if I attack the monster, say the monster has 100 hit points, and I do 60 damage to that monster, and somebody else comes around and does 40, I get 60% of the experience of that mob, and they get 40, because they did 40%. So whatever your participation of that mob is, you get experience for. Now that changes, obviously, based off of group. If you are in a group, and one group over the other does, you know, 40%, they get 40% of the experience divided between all of them, or maybe they all get 40% equally. I'm not really 100% sure how that works in a group. I just know the group gets experience. So if you are playing a healer and you're technically not doing damage, you still get experience because you're part of the group. So if you're thinking about it as a healer role and you're just like, I'm not going to ever level up because I'm never really fighting, that's not a thing. But I will have to kind of delve a little bit deeper into it and find out for you guys what the experience gain is. It's a little harder to figure out because you have to figure out, first of all, how much experience you get for 100% of the mob, and then you have to somehow calculate how much damage your group did versus the other group and find out how much it split to everybody in the group. So I think that's going to be something that somebody better with numbers and more time on their hands figures out before I do. But I think it's probably going to be even. I mean, it's probably going to be well balanced. Everything else does in this game seems to be. Come on, bring it in. Or if any of you guys already out there know the question or the answer to that question. How that works with group situations. Another sunfish. This is why I went to go hunt those mobs and just didn't have any luck, because I knew this would happen right here. We'd spend like an hour fishing, and it's not bad. I am leveling up. I mean, you know, I just got level 4 not too long ago. I'm already about, I don't know, 1/6 through it, 1/7 maybe. But yeah, if they ever add, like in Sword Art, you know, again, Sword Art Online, they had one of their episodes where, you know, the two characters actually retire and go off and get married. And they're living on a floor that has a giant lake in it. And there's a fisherman out there who he can catch the fish, but he's never been able to, you know, actually take it on because you have to fight it. I'm not sure if I like that method where not only do you have to be a great fisherman, but you have to have a group waiting on standby, or maybe you yourself just have to be a, you know, high level to kill the fish. But I do like the idea of finding monsters out there that require fishermen to do it. Bringing in that class to be part of a raid, even if they themselves aren't really big into fighting. Maybe what you could do with that is make it more of a game mechanic. Is, you know, just spitballing right off the top of my head. You could have like a giant shark everybody has to fight, but if you bring in fishermen on the side and all they do is fish, they could maybe distract the shark every so often by catching or enticing fish that the shark would be otherwise interested in. So like the minnows catch bigger fish. You could use minnows to try to entice I don't know. You could even use it to entice dolphins maybe. And dolphins will attack sharks, so maybe you could even get a little bit of help that way. A lot of mechanics I think they could integrate into the game. And it's just, you know, if they ever watch these videos, they'll just be like, I hate this guy. Hate this guy. He's making our job horrible. Get somebody out here harvesting. This will be the last lure we use, and then we'll go turn in a couple quests as soon as this one breaks. We got the roto mushrooms, or spores, we can turn in. That quest is done. We just got to pick them up from our house. Let's actually check that. One good thing about logging out is it fixes your book. We still need these guys. And I don't know where they're at. They're over there in the rainforest somewhere, but I haven't seen them. Ah, there we go. Our lure is broken. So let's put on our weapon. He's over here for now. We have one more left, but that's not... Alright, so rotospores. We need to make a healing potion, so let's go get one of the Queen's ear before we go back. And cigars, we have what we need for the chef, so we can turn that one in. Man, we just need 2 more bass, but we just could not get our hands on it. Alright, let's see if we can get Queen's ear. Take, oh yeah, we're on the wrong area. This is where the mushrooms spawn. Forgot how far down we came. We'll look over here. Occasionally you'll see one like right when you come out of the village. Those get snapped up really quickly, so you're not going to find those too often. I want a baby dragon, guys. I want a baby dragon. I haven't gotten to the quest. Somebody told me it was past the end in this direction once you got to level 10. And we're level 10, so if that is true and you guys know for sure, let me know, because we're going to go over there immediately and start that quest if that is the case. There's one right over there. There's 2 right over there. Is he snagging him? Yeah, he snagged one. Dang it. Alright, well, he is out here grabbing stuff, so we're going to have to go that way. And all we needed was one more, guys. Hopefully we can find some up here in this this little area. It's a really low level area. A lot of people don't tend to come over here. This is why I kind of missed out on this main storyline quest. Is one, I didn't go back into the cook shop after he supposedly finished one quest and was willing to give me another one. That quest didn't pop up immediately or before I left. And so, you know, who goes back in there to look around? Apparently, not me. And I never came over here to this area either, so I never really saw that there was things to be done over here. And yeah, like that kind of sucked because I was running around in high-level areas just grinding away when I should have been doing this quest. Only reason I found out about this quest is I kept asking people, like, where do you get those cloaks? Like, why do I not have a cloak yet? I've done a lot of quests, but I haven't done your quest, apparently. And they said it was the main storyline, and it wasn't until I pretty much wiped out all quests that I had, except for 2. And I was like, well, which one of these is the main storyline? Is it the one where you have to kill all these creatures? And they're like, no, it's... They started describing it to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I have not actually seen that main quest. They went back, I found some guy that I was grouped with for a few hours, and he started describing, like, all the different stages of the quest. And, yeah, I mean, you know, I didn't do any of them. Alright, so this over here is the camp that you come over here to get the little thing for the Pope. It lets him know that these guys are about to attack, in case you're ever looking for them. Fairly easy to get to. You can do it at level 1. I mean, you don't even have to fight any of these mobs to do it. Not seeing any ears over here. Actually, none at all. That's not good. There's a mushroom. I mean, we're here. Might as well get it. But no ears. Hey, man. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back down. If we don't see any down there immediately, we'll go back, turn into the fish, and we'll come back and, you know, maybe be able to do it then, but... That's what happens when you don't snag them when you can. And they don't seem to pop back very often, or very quickly. The mushrooms, there's a lot of them over there, so that's why they seem to be there a lot. There is one right over there. If we can get there without getting attacked. Should be able to, as long as we don't get too close. Come on, one more is all we need. Nice. Alright, we got enough queen's ear. Let's go make a potion, turn in the food to the chef. I guess that's going to let us know for sure if he takes our catfish. If he does, that's a lot more farming to get that. Catfish are not easy to get. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I got a ring. No stats whatsoever on the ring or the cloak. It's weird. I'm not sure why you wouldn't put something on those. I hope they do in the future. Alright, we've got a chef over here. Alright, chef, what do you got for me? Besides load screens. It's a shame what happened during the festival. I hope the rebel loses his head soon so we can go back to normal. Things around town haven't been the same since the whole affair. I guess or he somehow found out this was for his last meal, maybe. So, is that all you got? Alright, I guess I got the food. Let's go back and make a potion. Actually, let's check our inventory. Do I still have... I do. I still have the fishies. Oh, no, I only have 6 left. Did I need more than that? I think I did. No, I only needed 5. Alright. Collect greened belly... Oh, did they take the belly bass instead of the fish? I think he did. Oh, no. Don't tell me that. Yeah, he sure did. Oh man, that sucks. Okay, well that's gonna that's gonna add on a little bit more time. It's gonna be a quest I think I do off camera. I'll just sit and fish for a few hours, or kill those truffle hogs and get me some teeth. All right, let's stand up for this one. All right, let's get my book out. I'm pretty certain on the recipe, but I want to double check. There we go, healing potion. Okay, so I need Queen's Ear. Oh, before I do that, actually. Let's put the Queen's Ear in so I have more than one. I still have 4 in there. And I have 6 over here. What is wrong with me, guys? I had more than enough. You'd be out there looking for these things. But if you have them in different spots, they actually put them in different spots, so... Alright, Queen's Ear. Wait for it to turn yellow. We'll put in some mushrooms. I don't know why, these always kind of look like apple cores to me. Until you pick them up and you see like all the stuff on them. Witch's Brew, come on. Alright, yellow. Fishies. Well, it's still blue. And potion. Boom! We are done with that one. You conjured up a healing potion, return to the vendor to make your trade. I can't make anything else with those, right? I mean, I guess I could put these away for now. I don't really need them. And we got enough fishies, so we'll hold on to those. They do weigh a little bit, so let's take off 9. Go right there. Okay, so we can't put them in here. We'll put them in the other one then. Yeah, I think that's it right there. All right, let's do it. Now, I'm still standing because I think she's going to give me another quest to go back in there and do it again. She gave me a quest earlier to do 1, and now I want 2. I'm not sure if it's like a daily thing, and you can get all these snacks for your pet, which I'm guessing if you give him enough, he might level up or he gets bigger or something, but we'll see. You're a lifesaver. This will go a long way in helping me. Here are your treats. I have no more to trade. If you are looking for more, maybe that scientist might have some. Silicus is her name, I think. Always mucking about around with different critters. Alright, so I don't know where the scientist was. I'm sure she was around here somewhere. Alright guys, we're going to take a short 5-minute break. I'm not going to end the stream, but I am going to kind of camp my guy over here. You guys can stare at all the passerbys while I go get me a drink real quick because my throat is kind of sore and I don't want to keep coughing in your face. So bear with me for a second, guys, and I will be right back.
to trade them with me, so if someone wants reviving, they can pass me a rage.
All right, we are back, guys. Sorry about that. Had to get me a drink and a little bit something to eat. All right, so let's see. What quest do we still have left? In the rainforest. Let's look at the map again real quick. All right, well, let's go check the rainforest, guys. I mean, we kind of need to do that so we can get the cigars and we continue on with the main quest. We do have the one for the mushrooms. I don't know why I always forget that, the rotospores. Sorry, guys. There's going to be a lot more healing potions coming out, I think, in the future for us to use. We're going to go snag that one, too. This is within sight. Are these... Oh, man, that's not what I wanted. These things are easy to get. Alright. Let's go back onto track. Stop getting sidetracked by all the shinies that show up. That's one thing I wouldn't mind being in this game. Is those of you who never played EverQuest 2, shinies are collectibles that you find just randomly spawned on the map somewhere. I don't know if I would go that route with this one. I mean, they could, and it would work, and it would still be a kind of an enjoyable thing. But I would like it to see more of like butterflies or something, and you are collecting the butterflies for a collection, or insects. You collect enough beetles, different types of beetles, and you can create like an insect collection. And then if you turn that into the right NPC, then he gives you an item. You know, that's a collection, a quest line that is more of like a bonus one, because it's not something you absolutely need to do. It's not part of like the main storyline, but it's still something that you can do when you're out in the world. And maybe every region has its unique bugs, and you get a little bit more lore that way. It's kind of hard to tell, like, how far to take that, but I think there's so many different avenues you can go with it. There we go. That's the right one this time. Alright, we got loot on that one at least. Let's hope it is a tooth. Ah, finally, thank you. I appreciate it, dude. We're going to need a lot more teeth. But, you know, it's a good start. One. There's at least one. Don't see any more over here. But we're going to go check the NPCs over there in a second. Let's make a little sweep in here. It seems like somebody else has already killed them. Not too hard to find these guys. They're right here next to the entrance when you first zone in. So I think majority of the time, these things are going to be dead. If I'm on at like 1 or 2 in the morning, then this might be a viable spot. But until that time level or that time block, probably pretty hard to find. And another one. Yeah, baby, I got 2 teeth. 2 teeth should be enough to get like 4 bass, maybe. But considering we had to give up some of the bass that we have, I'm going to say I feel safe going over there with at least 4 teeth. And that way, if we suck really bad and just happen to not catch anything, we should still be good. Oh, you didn't drop anything at all, did you? Alright, no more. Alright, well, we got 1 more. 2 more. Sweet. Come on, truffles. Also, something I have figured out with the musket, not something, you know, mind-breaking or anything like that, but if you put in an orb, say you put in your healing orb, and then the guy doesn't need healing, and you're just like, I don't want to waste that because it takes a little bit of time for it to pop back up, just grab whatever orb you want to use and throw it in there, and the healing orb automatically comes back over here. Something goes for any of the other orbs. Unfortunately, there's no way to take the orb out. Like, you can, and you can try to put it back in here, but it fires it anyways. So, like, maybe at some point that feature will be fixed, but for now, you put an orb in, you got to fire an orb. It's just, you can change what orb it is. Not seeing any more. Alright, let's put our gun away and go look. Ah, here we go. Is this him? I don't think this is him.
Oh.
If you're interested in moving into the temperate climate, you can purchase this house behind me. Still no idea what the benefit of moving into a house is. Other than that's where you'll teleport back to when you use your teleportation stone. So it could be closer to the places you're fighting in, I guess would be easier. But since, well, you know, it doesn't cost you a reagent either. I was going to say you could just teleport anywhere you need to, but it's definitely going to cost you a reagent to do that. Maybe he's not in this town? It said the guy in the rainforest, right? All the way back to the map, huh? I do want tabs in here, guys. Please, if anybody knows the developers or knows where the forums are, please put some tabs in here. Let me switch to my spells real quick. Let me switch to my map or go straight to my quest. A lot of walking or moving back and forth to get the things. Make sure to deliver to him. Find Aaron von Lustenstrawn near the waters of the village. The waters of the village, New Kingsport in the rainforest. In the waters. Near the waters. All right, so we are looking in the wrong place. We're looking in the actual village, and we want out here by the lake. Pull my gun out just in case. So there's the graveyard, and the waters would be over here. Near the village, but over here. Not happening right here, but not a complete waste because we got a couple truffle shuffles. Come on. Oh, there we go. And he's dead. Where's the loot? I saw a loot drop, and I didn't pick it up. Has sparkles on it, in case you're wondering what loot looks like. Huh. I might have lost that one. I think it might have fallen in the water or something. That's unfortunate. Probably had a tooth on it, too. Or at least that is what I'm going to tell myself when I cry myself to sleep tonight. Because I didn't get my tooth. Alright, so I guess maybe the water over here? Let's look around. He has to be over here somewhere. Nope, not over here. There we go. Way out here, hidden. Hey, Aaron von Lustenstrawn. How you doing? Yes, what do you need? I'm rather busy. Okay, I have Marcel's poetry. What's that? I am collecting poetry for the publication. I don't recall ever having offered anyone's named Marcel a place on our prestigious pages. Seems you have been tricked, friend. I must have this published. You must, very well. I'm sure we can come to some kind of agreement for 40 dram. Let's say that's robbery. Suit yourself. I don't need to publish anything of yours, but you know where to find me should you change your mind. Now he should charge me more. All right. We'll pay your extortion, dude. A little kickback for you. Never hurt anybody. Actually, sorry, a lot of people. Very well. Return to me once you have my fee in hand. Request accepted. Writer's block. What's up, man? I got your money. Marvelous. You can tell Marshall that he shall see his poetry in the pages of our publication before the year is out. Word of advice, though, never trust a writer, especially not a Parthium poet friend.
Hey.
Here's an old copy of the last word. Give it to Marshall so he may view our fine works. All right, so we got a book. You look happy. Yeah, you do. Can I scratch your belly? Oh, you look happy, dude. What's up? What's up? No? You don't like the belly scratching? All right, I'll leave you alone. Just thought you might like a little bit of loving out here. There's some craziness going on over here. People are definitely pulling a lot of mobs. I might throw a little heal on them, just for safety reasons. Get some hits on those. We might get some loot out of it. Not really, because these things don't drop any loot, but... Alright, well, that's no longer a heal one anymore, but... Let's get back. Get our cigars going. But yeah, I think a game like this could really take advantage of a system that made it unique for players that just wanted to do trade crafting. So give them enough variety and make it hard enough for them to just master one thing. So people who are going to sell, like, say, cigars, for example, would have to grow their own tobacco on a farm, and growing tobacco would probably take you the majority of your time in the game. At least a decent amount of time in the game. You might be able to go off and do raids every once in a while, and it just got booted out for some reason. All right, so let's log back in. But yeah, if you watched Sword Art Online, you guys may know in that one, they had people who were like blacksmiths. They did go out and they did hunt from time to time, but the majority of their time in game was as a blacksmith. And that's kind of cool because it creates a entire field of people who need certain items. And they get better at making items. And then it's not such a big deal when you throw in the fact that blacksmiths can make better items than dungeons, because it's so hard to get up to that point that finding a blacksmith with a good enough skill level to make that item, and then actually being able to make that item without failing, because there's always a little bit of randomness in those skills, even when you're good at it. There's a little bit of randomness that you fail with all the ingredients lost, or you make something that's subpar. Throw in the skill set that, whatever it is, the hammering in a certain way, maybe make it where the temperature of the metal makes a difference, just like you do with the potion making. And it would be so sweet to have, go up to a blacksmith and be like, I want to custom order a sword. Here's the ingredients that I have. And then sit there and watch them do it. Or maybe you have to come back the next day because it's like an all-day thing. And you pay them for their services to do that. And I don't know. I mean, it just kind of makes it more realistic. It makes it where the community at large is more of a living organism. You have a blacksmith, you have a baker, you have, a tailor out there, and not everybody is maxed on all the stuff. And even if you've not done it in a while, you've lost a little bit of your skill level. You've lost a little bit of that refinement because you were better. What is that noise? Hold on a second, guys. It's like a shipping noise or something. I think it's my fan, so hopefully it'll go away here fairly soon. Otherwise, I'll have to turn that off, but some strange noises happening tonight. All right, let's turn our cigar in, or turn our turn our book in and get our cigar. What a strange trade. Hey, Sin, how you doing, man? What's that? You had to pay him to publish it? But is it being published? Isn't it? Oh, thank the goddess. I'm sorry if I inconvenienced you in any way, friend. Here, take a Parthian cigar for your troubles. I hope that more than settles our little debt. Well, I guess we'll let it slide, dude. You did give me a cigar. That probably would cost about 30 or 40 dram. We're going to go ahead and take the airship. We're going to wait for it. I haven't actually showed you guys taking the airship before. Now, they need to fix this, because when you zone in, you immediately are looking at the zone out, which is just a weird... Like, you should be looking this way since you came from down there. Alright, guys, we're waiting for the airship. Let's see how long this takes. There's a couple people waiting with us. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of time to clean out our inventory here. Gonna go ahead and destroy a few of these old fishing lures that we don't need anymore. I guess we can get rid of some of these things. 150 on there, we don't really need that one. 130 on the hat, don't need that either. Alright, well then while we have a moment, I'm gonna go turn that fan off because this is annoying. Oh, it's always such an ordeal to get in this thing. Still no airship, huh? Alright, so this is a long airship. We probably should have just ran it. If it doesn't show up soon, we might just do that. I mean, it's nice though, because this will take us like right back to where we need to go. Okay, so that one's almost done. Rotos. You know what? We're here, lowland woods to track down 20. Who gave me that one? I don't even know who gave me that one, but we're gonna go get those spores. And we'll look around the town, and then we'll run over to the next area so we can check all the NPCs along the route and see who actually gave us that quest. A little nice load-in screen right there. Let's see. Wrong chest. There we go. We need 19 of these things, so let's take out 14. And that did not work yet. There you go. I don't think we can put feathers in here, but we can try. Yeah, feathers don't go in there. Tongues. Yeah, tongues don't work either. And these definitely do, though. Put those in there. Alright, so we're not carrying so much weight. Now, we will look around town real quick. And if the airship shows up, so much the better. But if it doesn't... There we go. Alright, so the NPC was just right here. Still no airship. You are better than any Spore Hog out there. Here's the potion, like I promised. Alright, well thank you. Did you take all my... You did. You took all of them and you gave me a potion. A giant growth potion for those who like to be taller than most. Really? What do you use that for? I mean, just to be a big tank, maybe. So people can always spot you when you're in the raids.
Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that, of that particular game style, of that series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.